What is going on, YouTube? Living for the Christ here, and today I want to talk about the historical impact of Jesus Christ. Very briefly. Basically, people will try to say that Jesus was only a man, he was only a prophet, or some of them will even say he doesn't even exist or he never did. Um, Basically, they don't want if they don't want any archaeological proof or anything from the Bible or Roman writings or Jewish writings or nothing like that. They don't want anything like that. You can simply prove it that he existed and he had a major impact. He had a major impact in history as far as religion goes. So basically, guys, as you guys remember in the Old Testament, they did blood sacrifices. And I've had some recent debates with a lot of Muslims. And every time I brought up this question, they did not have an answer. What happened to the blood sacrifice? Because, they believe that they can, the Old Testament is reliable. So, like the Torah, and basically they believe that the Quran goes with the same God. If that's so, then what happened to the blood sacrifice? Why does that not happen anymore? Same goes for the Jews. Same question for the Jews. Why don't you do it as often? I'm not saying they don't do it at all. They do it, as far as their calendar goes, there's a certain date. And I know the Muslims do as well, but it is a certain date, just like the Jews. Now, back in the day, they sacrificed as much as possible. A sacrifice for the whole family as much as possible. Um, they like Noah, as soon as they got off the ark, he did a offering and he could talk to God. That was required. Because if your God doesn't require a sacrifice for every sin, there is no way you can communicate with him. Because if he's perfect and you're not, there's no way you can communicate without becoming perfect by a sacrifice. But if 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 you can, if the religion states that you can, then your God, I'm sorry, but he is imperfect, as far as you are stating. So therefore, Allah is imperfect. Now they do a method called wudu, I believe, and it's water. They wash themselves with water. They breathe it in, and basically they say that makes you pure enough to talk to Allah. But sadly, it is not the case, because if that was the case, our God, if they claim that he's the same God, our God changed from blood sacrifice to water and only requiring blood sacrifices every so often, I think it's around a year. I'm not too sure on their calendar, but definitely not as much as they did back then in the Old Testament times. Um, so basically, water that I guess purifies the flesh, but it doesn't pure your soul to talk to your God. Um, so basically, Jesus had a major impact, and this is how we know, because the blood sacrifice, as we knew it, stopped. It didn't happen as much anyway. Like as much as possible, it happened maybe every year, as far as the calendar goes, or whenever they could, or not even that. Every year on the calendar that they went and did a sacrifice, that was it. But back in Old Testament times, they did as much as possible because they sinned a lot, just like we do today. So how do you prove Jesus without any text or any archaeological proof or anything like that? Basically, you just say, look, what happened to the blood sacrifice? That was a big thing back in the Old Testament times with Noah, Abraham, everybody, Moses and everything. Everybody, they all did blood sacrifice. David. Now David said that the Lord isn't pleased in it, or he it's not that he doesn't require it, but the Lord wants a change. He wants a repenting spirit. He's not saying he doesn't require it. Now, if anybody tries to bring that up, he's saying he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't require it. It's that he doesn't want that more than anything. He wants a repenting spirit, but it is required nonetheless. And as we know, Jesus is our perfect sacrifice. He was the perfect lamb, and yeah, so basically, guys, that's how you answer that. What happened to the blood sacrifice? That's my question. I haven't gotten an answer to that quite yet, guys, and I don't think I ever will. Jesus is the way, He is the truth, and the life, as John 14:6 states. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Follow me on Instagram, hit that subscribe button, and like for more. Comment below. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.